Ladies and gentlemen, our top story this evening is coming from Karnataka, where a shocking murder has stunned the state and left India with many questions. A 24-year-old was stabbed to death by her own classmate inside her own college campus. Neha Hiramath was murdered in her own college in broad daylight. This happened when she was coming out of the college after writing her exam. Mohammad Fayaz stabbed her in the back and neck repeatedly till she collapsed in a pool of blood. The two had known each other well. The campus horror was captured on CCTV camera, based on which Fayaz was caught within an hour. It is learned that the accused had been stalking Neha for several days now after she allegedly rejected his advances. The accused, who is in police custody, has allegedly told cops that he and Neha were in a relationship. He also claims that Neha recently began to avoid him, which led him to getting very angry. He has told the police that it was in a fit of rage that he stabbed her to death. Neha Hiramath is the daughter of a Congress corporator from Hubballi. Her father has claimed that this is an incident of love jihad. Listen in.
ಮಗಳನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ನಮ್ಗೆ ದುಃಖ ಐತಿ. ಮತ್ತೊಬ್ಬರ ಬಡ ಮಕ್ಕಳ ಹೆಣ್ಮಕ್ಳು ಕೂಡ ಈ ಥರ ಆಗಬಾರ್ದಂತ ನನ್ನ ಬೇಡಿಕೆ. ಯಾಕಂದ್ರೆ ಈಗಾಗಲೇ ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ಅನೇಕ ಕಡೆ ದುಃಖವನ್ನು ನಾವು ಕೂಡ ನೋಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ, ಬೇರೆದವರು ಮಕ್ಕಳು ತೀರ್ಕೊಂಡಾಗ. ಈ ಲವ್ ಜಿಹಾದ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಏನಿದೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಪ್ರಾಬಬಲಿ ಭಾಳ ವಿಸ್ತಾರವಾಗಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ ಅಂತ ನನಗೂ ಅನ್ಸತ್ತೆ. ಒಬ್ಬಾಕೆ ಮಗಳು, ಒಬ್ಬನೇ ಮಗ, ಎರಡು ಕಣ್ಣಿದ್ದಂಗೆ ನನಗೆ 25 ವರ್ಷದಿಂದ ಕಣ್ಣೀರು ಹಾಕಿಲ್ಲ. ಆ ರೀತಿ ನಾನು ಬಂದವನ. ಇವತ್ತು ನನ್ನ ಮನೆಗಿಂತ ದುಃಖ ಬಂದಿತ್ತೆ. ಏನು ಬೇಡ್ಲಕ್ಕೋ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಆಗಿದೆ. ನಾನು ಎಲ್ಲರಿಗೆ ಪಾಲಕರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ಎಲ್ಲ ತಾಯಂದ್ರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳ್ತೀನಿ, ತಮ್ಮ ಹೆಣ್ಣು ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕಲ್ಸಕ್ಕೆ ನೀವು ಕಳಿಸ್ರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ತಾವು ಕೂಡ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ಗೆ ಹೋಗಿ ತಮ್ಮ ಮಗಳು ಏನು ಮಾಡತ್ತಾಳ, ಅವ್ರ ಹಿಂದೆ ಯಾರು ಬಿದ್ದಾರೋ ಏನೋ ಅಂತೇಳಿ ತಾವು ಕೂಡ ಗಮನ ಹರಿಸ್ಬೇಕು.
The Bharatiya Janata Party, the main opposition party in Karnataka, says that this crime is a fallout of the Congress's appeasement politics. The Karnataka government, for the moment, is ruling out a love jihad angle and says that the boy and the girl were in a relationship.
It is totally failure of law and order, and the local police is incapable of handling such situations. They are under severe political pressure to snub all this kind of things. Previously, we have seen so many things happening. Therefore, if people can shout pro-Pakistan slogans in Vidhan Sabha, they think that they can do anything anywhere in the Karnataka. Karnataka has become a heaven for all anti-social elements. It has become a heaven for all anti-social elements. That's how we could see that even the NIA has arrested the people from Karnataka regarding bomb blast. So it has become really a very, 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 very dicey situation on the ground, and people are feeling unsafe under this Congress.
ಯಾವುದು ಮರಣಗಳಾಗಿದ್ದಾವೆ ಅವು ವೈಯಕ್ತಿಕ ಕಾರಣಗೋಸ್ಕರ ಆಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು. ಕಾನೂನು ಸುವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆ ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿದೆ. ಕರ್ನಾಟಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾನೂನು ಸುವ್ಯವಸ್ಥೆಯನ್ನು ಕಾಪಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ನಮ್ಮ ಸರ್ಕಾರದ ಕರ್ತವ್ಯ. ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ.
Ladies and gentlemen, this incident is our top focus tonight, not because Neha is the daughter of a Congress corporator, but for us, she's a 24-year-old girl who was pursuing her MCA, had aspirations and dreams, and was killed brutally in her own campus after a relationship turned sour. This is, at least not for the moment, about the girl or the boy's religion. Our netas for the moment may want to see this incident through the lens of love jihad. I will choose not to till more evidence emerges. To me, this story is about the safety of our daughters on campus. Reports are suggesting that the college management had summoned Neha and Fayaz's parents last year after the news of them being close to each other spread. Fayaz had subsequently dropped out of college. Question is, how can an ex-student enter the premises with a knife on an examination day and simply stab a girl and run away? Are there no security checks? Do you not do a basic check, especially on an examination day, about who's entering your college and whether they are carrying any weapons? If you did a basic check, you would have caught the weapon. And let's understand that this isn't the first time that a girl is being stabbed or killed in Karnataka. Last year, an 18-year-old was abducted and stabbed near Bengaluru's Ramanagara area. She was allegedly abducted by a man who was in love with her and wanted to marry her. However, he faced opposition from the girl's family and eventually decided to take this step. That case wasn't a Hindu-Muslim case. Then there was Leela Parvati, a 28-year-old woman who was stabbed 16 times by her boyfriend outside her office in full public view. Stabbing on campuses, offices, roads. The series of brutal killings from Bangalore to Delhi, fueled by unrequited love, is indicating to a worrying epidemic in India. It now officially has a name. It is called the Jilted Lover Syndrome. It's something that I want to speak to my guests this evening. This is going to be a very quick chat. Arvind Kumar Jain, you're a former DGP of Uttar Pradesh. Thank you very much for joining us. Prerna Sethi, you're a senior psychologist. You're joining us as well. And Brinda Dige, you're an activist. You're joining us from Bangalore. Thank you very much. Arvind Kumar Jain, I am going to begin by looking at it purely from the lens of a crime. We heard the father's soundbite. He's saying this is love jihad. He's cautioning parents to keep a close eye on their daughter. But given the information that is available to us, is this looking like love jihad to you? Or is this looking like the jilted lover syndrome playing out once again?
Can be one of the two things which you have suggested. Either it was a jilted lover syndrome, or it can be part of love jihad, because in UP during my service, I have seen hundreds of such instances of love jihad taking place, and that's why an act was enacted in UP, and since that act has been enacted and very severe punishment has been prescribed, these cases of love jihad have dropped, and they are still there, but strong action is being taken. So if a father is saying, I don't have reason to contradict him, but it must be a very, very sad thing for the family, losing 23-year-old daughter like this. And I just can't imagine what the family must be going through at this moment. And as stern as possible, punishment should be awarded to this culprit. Unfortunately, till the time Supreme Court confirms the judgment, 13, 14 years will pass, 15 years might pass. So that is unfortunate. That is why action is taken by police. Immediate action is taken. Charge sheet will be filed, I think, in this case, because it's a simple case. Within 10, 15 days, charge sheet will be filed in a court of law. And local court will also pass judgment. It takes time in High Court, and it takes very, very long in Supreme Court. That somehow we should resolve it.
So the arrest has been made.
Yes.
Mr. Jain, you're telling me that the arrest has been made within an hour, and there is appreciation for that. But that arrest does not mean justice for the family, because justice for the family, with the way the wheels of justice move in our country, will probably come 15 years later. Brinda Dige, can you just come into this conversation? I've given our viewers the entire sequence of events. Just because this was a Muslim boy and a Hindu girl, does it qualify as a love jihad case? Now, we have a senior police official on the show who has worked in Uttar Pradesh, and he's saying that he has seen cases of love jihad, and he has no doubt to not believe the father. He has no reason not to believe the father. I have no reason not to believe the father either, but I'm looking at the sequence of events. I'm looking at the fact that the boy and the girl knew each other, that college authorities had actually called parents of the boy and the girl a year ago and informed them about this relationship. The girl's father is also saying that we had called the boy and said, look, you're a Muslim and she's a Hindu, and a marriage is not possible. The boy has told the police, that is what upset me. What upset me was the fact that she simply stopped meeting me. She started ignoring me at the behest of her family, which is why I did what I did. Again, I'm trying to understand, is this love jihad or is this the jilted lover syndrome, according to you?
Shreya, this is clearly jilted lover syndrome, because like you just now narrated, there has been a history to this relationship, and then the girl decides that she does not want to be in the relationship. That's all. We don't even want to go into who told her about her religion, who told her about her community. The girl decided she doesn't want to be in this relationship, period. Now that is what this guy could not accept. that he has been spurned by somebody like her. Maybe he would have thought of all kinds of things. She's a corporator's daughter. She has done well in her studies. All of those things are secondary. The fact that this fellow's ego got hurt, like, so many of the chauvinistic men that we see around, they do not want a no from a woman. They will not accept that the woman has made a decision that she doesn't want to be in that relationship or does not want that friendship. And that, out of sheer anger, revenge, whatever it might be, premeditated, he carried a knife. And that means I also want to blame the college
Correct.
authorities, because they should have literally checked all of the bags that people who come inside the college. And like you mentioned, Shreya, this is exam time. College bags are checked. The person itself is checked. You just can't walk inside over there. With your ID card, all of you is checked. Now, if this was not done, it's a lapse on the part of the management. But we are very clear that this is a gender-based violence. Calling it love jihad is not going to get us anywhere.
Okay, this is gender-based violence you're saying. This is not religion-based violence. I bring up the love jihad angle simply because the father is sure of it. And simply because he has spoken to reporters and put it on record. It's important to put their voice out as well, because it is, after all, they who have lost their daughters. It's a loss that, it's a vacuum that will never fill up. Prerna Sethi, you've again watched the sequence of events. What's your view on what took place? To my mind, of the cases that I have covered, the pattern is very similar. You're in a relationship, the girl decides to break up, or the girl is told to break up, she starts ignoring you, she dumps you, you fly into a fit of rage, and you walk into her office space or you walk into her college space and simply think it's okay to stab her. In most cases, I've also seen the accused, the stabbers or the killers, kill the girl and then point the gun to themselves and kill themselves. In this case, that wasn't the case.
So first thing I would like to address is that we are all going by different people who are having different emotions in this current situation. The girl is not there to justify herself. So we can have a game of Chinese whisper with everybody's own version to it. Now, I'll just like to break it down a little further to you, that I feel somewhere the word, like Brindaji mentioned, the no is not taken, right? Why is the no not taken? Usually, I'm a CBT therapist. So cognitive behavior therapy says that thought, emotion, and behavior are related. People today see no as demeaning, that they are being demeaned by the other person instead of it being a choice. So that is the first angle to it, that people do not have the ability to take no. Now, why don't they have the ability to take no? There is a possibility of some underlying mental health issue going undiagnosed. Why? Because taking somebody's life is not easy in the very first place, right? Now, it's not that impulsivity, like you mentioned that he said it was in a fit of rage. Impulsivity doesn't happen overnight. It is part of somebody's personality, and which would have been over the years, which has again gone undiagnosed. Why wasn't it addressed earlier? So if somebody, if we talk about childhood or adolescence, you would see that there would be lying, fights, not being able to maintain relationships. But again, what happens at that point of time is we address it as he's a child or she's a child, or that is how the nature is. Family at times becomes accommodating to it. And when you become accommodating, when you hear the no, you are not able to take it. So the response is likely to be different, because somebody is comforting the behavior. Plus, if the environment also gives this opportunity where it is normal to be aggressive, then the possibility of such behavior is likely to be higher.
Prerna, I was reading somewhere that 1 in 100 people is a psychopath. I found that very hard to believe, by the way. So you could probably confirm the statistic that I read online. But I want to ask you, this murder clearly was premeditated, right? Because the girl had been ignoring him for some time. He came prepared with a knife. He had dropped out of college, yet he anyhow got inside. He waited for her to come out. So this is premeditated. This is not even in a fit of rage.
Even if I go by premeditated, in premeditated also taking somebody's life is not easy. So there is some, again, underlying mental health issue which has not been addressed. And even in such people, you would see that in their childhood or adolescence, they will be away from people. They will have superficial relations. you would see some form of deviancy earlier as well. So again, it is something which has been going unnoticed.
Okay. Okay, Arvind Kumar Jain, can I just come to you with the last question? And this is a question that I've asked Brinda as well. And I want to ask you this as well. You're saying in Uttar Pradesh, when you were posted there, you've seen many cases of love jihad. I'm sure you have. But just because in a relationship, a man is a Muslim and the girl is a Hindu, does that always qualify under all circumstances? Does it always qualify as a case of love jihad?
No, it is not like that.
Why not, in this case, pure, simple, cold-blooded murder, which to me is what it seems like?
I read somewhere that he had failed in the examination. He was doing badly, and he was not attending classes. He had left the college. He had no business to come here and take the life of this young girl. So in every love affair, it is not necessary that it is part of love jihad if the boy is a Muslim and the girl is a Hindu. There are marriages which last lifelong between persons of two religions. So naturally, they must be having real love. That's why they are still surviving as a couple. But in this case, I was saying because father is alleging, so I am nobody to question his judgment. He must have found out somewhere. Because he must be keeping track of his daughter and of the relationship. He also must have been worried because boy is not doing anything and girl is naturally avoiding the person, avoiding the man, Fayaz. So taking life like this is very, very unfortunate. Young talent, young girl. I just can't imagine what must be the mental state of the parents and the family at such a time. So all of us, yes, all
this
of us
is a
should support
shocking crime. This is a shocking crime. We just hope that the family doesn't have to wait the next 15 years for justice, as is usually the case. We leave it there for the moment. Arvind Kumar Jain, thank you very much. Prerna Sethi, thank you for joining us. And Brinda Adige, thank you very much for joining us.